Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. And on the heels of Apple's release of their new M1 chip in their laptops, they came out with a 2-in-1, a 24-inch display iMac. Now Apple's really covered their bases with the M1 chip. They have a laptop, tablet, they have a mini PC, and now a desktop. This iMac is actually the first iMac I have ever used. I've consistently used their MacBook laptops, however, haven't really switched over to the iMac yet, so I was excited to test this one out. Now, I've been using this as my main work and video editing computer for a while now, especially because I use the M1 MacBook Pro, so it was very easy to transition over to an iMac. Anyways, want to dive into my experience with the 2021 iMac, what I like, what I don't like. Also, if you are on the fence of buying one, my thoughts on upcoming iMacs as well. So let's get into the full review of the 2021 iMac. To begin, let's talk about design of this very thin and light machine. Now, I want to start with the power cable. It is definitely long enough, no complaints on the length, has a nice premium braided cable look, and is color coordinated depending on the model you get. Now, that power brick is really cool in my opinion. Very intuitive design to include the Ethernet cable, Ethernet slot in the power brick. Not only does it save space in the actual computer, but also now you don't have to route another cable up to the back of your machine. The connector also has strong magnets. It's not MagSafe, and I believe that's because it's not meant to be taken out and put back in like other MagSafe products are. This is just a very strong magnet, no issues with it coming disconnected even when I move the computer around. Taking a look at the back, there's only 4 ports, all USB-C, 2 of them being Thunderbolt, and that to me is a little confusing. I wish they had a couple USB-A ports. You are stuck using dongles still. At least it's consistent across their computers now where they're not including any USB Type-A, so it's just a decision that they made. And then of course, with me being a content creator, I wish they had maybe an SD card slot and maybe a couple others. It seems like they have more than enough space. And with it being so thin and light, anytime I go to maybe power it on or plug in or unplug something out of the back, it will kind of move actually, just because it's so light, which is not that big of a deal, but I find myself, you know, kind of tilting it in, plugging something in, and it's in an awkward spot. You really can't find it. You really have to kind of tilt it over to find where the right spot is to plug something in. Now, if we do power on our iMac, you get that traditional sounding boot up. Now, one thing, it makes me kind of mad actually. It does tilt down and up, but you can't raise or lower the monitor at all, which to me is kind of an oversight in design, just because I use sit-stand desks, I use different environments with something like this, and if I'm standing, I'm going to want to raise that monitor, and this does not give you the option to do that. Now, to me, it's a very good looking setup. You can color coordinate with whatever room you're going to put it in. It just looks really good. It's very eye-catching. I've gotten that from my friends that come in and take a look at it. They say they think it looks really good. Now, speaking of my friends, that brings us to our sponsor, which is HP. Let me introduce you to my HP Smart Friend. HP Smart Friend allows you to have technology gurus at your fingertips, and they're available 24/7 through phone, chat, and remote support. Your HP Smart Friend will be there for you, offering judgment-free help. And not only will they fix unexpected problems, but they'll help you sync an Android or iPhone to a Windows PC, performance optimizations on your device if you're having trouble connecting to a network with Wi-Fi. Not only do you get that great support, but another one of the perks of a Smart Friend subscription is access to HP Employee Purchase Plan pricing on HP hardware and accessories. So, if you're looking for a reliable, trustworthy friend to help with your tech devices, look no further than HP Smart Friend. There are a lot of colors to choose from. As you can see, I got the blue. They keep it consistent throughout the mouse and keyboard they include. And obviously there's a larger chin at the bottom. To me, it's a little bit too big. I wish they went with just more thin bezels, but that's not the design choice. I think it's just to keep it consistent with the design of the previous iMac. Now, speaking of those peripherals, we have our mouse here, which did come with another cable. Again, it has that blue color braided look, but the mouse and keyboard both are charged with Lightning, so not even USB-C. So you have a USB-C to Lightning cable that comes with it. Again, very confused why they still decided this, but the mouse Plugs in at the bottom. They didn't change that whatsoever, so you can't use it while it's charging. That is just not an option. And overall, I don't mind the mouse and keyboard. They're not necessarily my favorite. The mouse has some gestures, which is a nice touch where you can maybe switch through windows or do some different scrolling. The keyboard itself is just a little bit too small, a little bit too cramped for my liking. But again, with this size and how thin it is, it makes sense that they want everything to be minimal and not too large. The mouse, I'll probably swap out for a different one. However, the keyboard, you kind of get tied to it just because it has that power button fingerprint scanner built into it, and it's nice and convenient so I don't have to type in my passcode every time. Now, this is a 24-inch 4.5K Retina display, and to me, I personally might want a 27-inch, especially at that 4.5K resolution. You can definitely take advantage of a larger screen. I'm guessing in a future model, they might go 27 or even 32 inches with a larger screen, but this is definitely made more for a compact type of setup. With that being said, the display looks incredible. The colors really pop. Videos look great on it, whether I'm doing some video editing, some color grading, anything like that. It looks really good. I'm very impressed with it. Now, I believe it gets up to 500 nits of brightness, so even when I'm in a brighter room, I can definitely still see all the content just fine. I just wouldn't put it in direct sunlight, which is very easy to do with something that's plugged into the wall. It's not like you're gonna be outside carrying it with you. And obviously, I have to touch on the M1 chip inside, and I've had such a good experience with it. Apple has done an amazing job. One of my favorite new tech items that came out this year is that M1 chip, actually. It works great. I can video edit on it. I can multitask like crazy. Developers have converted their apps over so they work flawlessly. Now, I know there's a bunch of rumors about a newer chip that might have been in the iMac. That wasn't the case. And I also see no concrete rumors of a newer chip coming out this year. Also, one interesting thing I was thinking of with the M1 chip, battery life has been excellent on my MacBook Pro. So the energy consumption is very low with this chip. Now, it's not really that big of a deal for an individual with the iMac plugged into the wall. However, if you are running a large business, it might be a good way to save some power on a larger scale. And again, you might see a larger iMac coming soon. You might see that M2 chip, M1X, whatever they're going to call it in the future. There is no concrete evidence of that actually launching this year whatsoever. So if you are still thinking about getting an iMac, it might be a great time to do so because, again, there's really no concrete evidence of anything coming out later this year. Now, here's a quick example of the webcam in action. Quality is very good. It definitely does the job for video chats. Now, I left the lights on behind me just to show you how good the exposure actually is. So it does such a good job at balancing all of the light going on around me. Big thumbs up for that. And voice quality is very good. You are hearing the voice quality of all the mics on the iMac. So with that being said, if you are looking for maybe a more compact setup, this is an excellent option. Now, it is a little bit on the pricier side, though, like just about all other Apple products. It's, of course, a great complement for the ecosystem. If you already have a MacBook or an iPhone, you can use FaceTime, your iMessage, all on your machine. So overall, it's very versatile and something I can actually recommend. Again, it is on the pricier side, though. If you look at it, you might be able to get something a little bit better. However, aesthetically, it looks great. Very thin, very light. It's not going to take up a lot of space on your desk. But that's everything I want to talk about for now with the iMac in 2021. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe as well. A lot more content coming soon. And as always, thanks for watching.